Hello and welcome back to Today in the NBA, where today I'm going to be going over the Atlanta Hawks past regular season, recapping what happened, going over their postseason, and looking at their potential outcomes for this coming season. So to start off, the Atlanta Hawks were the 7th seed and they got bounced in the first round, and I believe 6 by the Boston Celtics. Now the Atlanta Hawks last year, they were 7th in offensive rating and 22nd in defensive rating. Now with a player like Trae Young on your roster, you're never really going to be a great defensive team. So if I'm the Atlanta Hawks here, I'd probably just buy in on the offensive end and try and maybe get to 15th or so on the defensive end. Now if you're the Hawks and your defense is only going to be about middle of the pack, then your offense probably has to be in the top 3 of the entire league. I think a big way the Atlanta Hawks could improve their roster is by increasing their 3-point shooting. 30.5 attempts last season on 35.2%. That is pretty bad. I don't really know how they're going to do that. I do think Quinn Snyder, new coach, is going to be a great help for them on that end. Now for the Hawks offseason, I'm going to give them a B to a B+. They had a really nice offseason for me. They didn't do enough, however, to earn the A or A- rating. I loved the John Collins trade. It was great that they got off all of that money. They didn't really get any value for him, but that's not really a big deal. Rudy Gay did end up getting bought out, so all they really got was a second or two, I think. I also loved the drafting of Kobe Buffkin. He's a great player, and I definitely think getting him at 15 was a really great value. I thought Kobe Buffkin could have potentially been a top 10 talent in this draft. Kobe Buffkin definitely helps the long-term future for this team, as he's someone that I think could develop into a great player alongside Trae Young, someone that could be an excellent complementary piece if maybe DeJounte Murray is traded to improve the team's overall defense or something else happens. I don't know. Now going over the Hawks roster, they have a really nice well-rounded team that is surprisingly not too top heavy. Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Saddiq Bey and Clint Capella all starting, with Kobe Buffkin, Bogdan Bogdanovic, AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson and Onyeka Okongwu coming off the bench. Now in the remainder of the offseason, I would really like to see the Hawks trade for someone, a center probably, one of the 2 Timberwolves centers. So either Karl Anthony Towns or Rudy Gobert. To start off with Cat, I think this team, they would go all in on the offensive end. They wouldn't really get much worse on defense though. I think they could probably give up Onyeka Okongwu, Jalen Johnson, AJ Griffin, maybe a couple first, and that would get the deal done. They might have to throw in Kobe Buffkin, but who knows, they might get like a Mike Conley or something back. You never know. Now with Karl Anthony Towns on the team, I can definitely see the Atlanta Hawks offensive rating shooting all the way up to top 3, maybe even first in the whole entire NBA. This team would just be so much fun if instead of kicking it out to, I don't know, Clint Capella, where he just stands there, tries to make a play, Trae Young's kicking the ball out to Karl Anthony Towns, who can do something off the dribble, shoot it, do whatever. This team's offensive rating would be terrifying. Now, their defense probably wouldn't be too great, but honestly, I don't think they would get a hell of a lot worse. If you really needed to, you could run Cat at the 5 and Onyeka Okongwu, who's got a alright mid-range game, at the 4. This would mean that the defense isn't actually that bad, while the offense is still pretty good. Now I want to talk about Rudy Gobert, who I think would be a really, really nice option for the Hawks. Now, I think a couple seasons ago, the Hawks discussed trading for Rudy Gobert around the trade deadline, and I think the start of last offseason, so a year ago now, I think that the asking price from the Jazz was probably too high, but seeing as we saw what he went for, I'm glad that the Atlanta Hawks didn't go after that. Anyway, to get Rudy Gobert on the Hawks, it probably wouldn't even take all that much. He's got a terrible contract, so maybe Clint Capella, Saddiq Bey, maybe an AJ Griffin or a Kobe Buffkin, a young player. You'd probably have to throw in Bogdan Bogdanovic just to match up with the money. But still, I think that Rudy Gobert on the Atlanta Hawks would be great. He would definitely be able to keep them around middle of the pack, while I would say he wouldn't do much on the offensive end any worse than Clint Capella did. Not a great offensive player, not that skilled, great off the pick and roll, can catch lobs, offensive rebounds and whatnot, but not really someone that you pass the ball to and get them to create for themselves. Even though Rudy has shown that he's doing a little bit of that in Minnesota, but still, I can't imagine it'll be very efficient on points per possession. Anyway, Rudy Gobert on the defensive end for the Hawks would definitely be able to make the middle of the pack, maybe 12 or 13. Just look at what he did with the Utah Jazz when he didn't have any good perimeter defenders around him. But in Atlanta, he would have DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, maybe AJ Griffin or Kobe Buffkin or Saddiq Bey. Who knows? He would be so much more impactful than what he was in Utah, and I don't think that there will be an infamous Terrence Mann game like there was with Rudy in Utah. Anyway, next season I can see the Atlanta Hawks winning 41 games and losing 41 games yet again, being a perfectly average team, not that great, and making the 8th seed this time, losing in the first round, and 6 again to the Boston Celtics. Maybe they might steal a few games, who knows. I can see Trae Young making an All-Star game and Kobe Buffkin making the all-rookie second team, but that's all I'm really predicting for that team. Anyway, thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed. Please check out some of my videos, and I'll see you all in the next one.